Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is name. N-A-M-E.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The dealers who now have on display the all-new 1954 Plymouth, your best buy in the low-priced field, and who on November 5th will have on display the astonishing and beautiful new DeSoto for 1954. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Are you sure you want him? Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with 1,500 smackolas for one of our couples.
Well, Groucho, I saw an interesting article in the newspaper about a married couple, and I told them to come and see us next time they were in Hollywood, and maybe they'd get on the show. And they did, and here they are. Mr. and Mrs. John Peter Fedorovich, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Well, howdy do. Welcome, folks, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word, and you'll take home an extra 100 smackolas. The secret word is a very common word, and it's something you always have with you, I presume. Mr. and Mrs. John Peter Fedorovich, huh?
That's right.
Where are you from, Mr. Fedorovich?
I was born in Rotten, Poland. I've been here over 40 years.
You were born in Rotten, Poland?
Or Rotten, Poland.
What kind of a place is Rotten, Poland?
I don't know. A long time since I've been there.
How old were you when you fled from there?
60.
You were 60 when you left there?
No.
You are 60? Gee, you don't look it. What sort of work do you do?
I'm a roofer.
Well, top of the morning to you. Huh? What does a roofer do?
Fixes the roofs.
Well, I didn't think you raised caterpillars, but what do you do specifically, then?
Well, depends on the type of roof.
Uh-huh. Well, let's see. You're Mrs. Fedorovich, huh?
That's right.
Fedorovich. Is that the word? How do you pronounce it?
Fedorovich.
Fedorovich,
That's
huh?
right.
Well, that's a whole lot better, huh? What is your... Helen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you mind if I call you Helen?
That's all right.
What part of Poland are you from, Helen?
I'm not from Poland. I was born in the United States. I was born in Hobart, Oklahoma.
Well, Helen, you're pretty short for a tall girl. How tall are you?
Well, I'm just a little over 5 feet tall, and I weigh 155 pounds.
Oh, you're kind of 5 by 5, huh? Well, you carry it well. How much do you weigh, John?
I weigh 125.
Did she weigh more than you when you got
She
married,
weighed about
John?
100 pounds more when I married her.
I beg your pardon?
She weighed about 100 pounds more when I married her.
She weighed 100 pounds more than she does now when you married her?
And I did.
Than you did. And you weigh 125 and she
Yes,
weighed
sir.
225? Helen, after you were married, did you try to lose a little excess baggage?
Yes, I did, and John thought it'd be a good idea if we take
Did
a
he
walk.
suggest it, that you lose some weight?
He suggested that we walk.
Is that true, John?
That's right.
Well, how did you do this? Did you lie down on the
No,
floor and let him walk all over you?
No, we took a walk to Arizona.
You took a walk to Arizona? How far did you walk on this Arizona stroll?
About 500 miles.
Well, Helen, did this walking trip to Arizona have any effect on you?
I lost 50 pounds.
Did this make you happy, John?
No, but she gained 60 later on.
Well, John, did you try any other reducing measures, like walking to Shreveport?
No, we didn't walk to Shreveport, but we walked to Spokane, Washington.
You walked to Spokane?
That's right.
Well, how far is that as the crow flies?
We didn't fly, we walked about 5 miles.
He keeps topping me. I guess that's because he was a roofer. How did you make out on the Spokane trip, Helen? Did you lose any blubber, any weight?
I lost about 85 pounds.
Okay, I'm ready for the next question. John, how much did she gain?
Well, she gained 115 pounds.
This could be
I
serious.
was 265.
Where'd you go this time, Alaska?
No, we went down Morongo, Imperial Valley, Mexicali, Mexico, up in San Diego. Get to Los Angeles. She didn't lose enough. We went to take a walk down to Fresno or to the coast.
We walked all together about 2,000 miles in 4 months.
And you say, how much do you weigh now?
155.
Oh, well, are you satisfied with her?
Oh,
present
yeah,
weight, huh?
sure. I can lift her now. Before I couldn't budge her.
You mean you did this whole thing just so you could lift her?
That's right. And so she feel better and look like something.
Oh. Well, I think she looks pretty cute.
Now she does. You ought to see her before.
Well, the next time she puts on 100 pounds, bring her around, will you? Well, this has been a pretty heavy conversation we've had here, but you can lighten your load by winning a lot of money, and I hope you do. All you got to do is run your $20 and more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question. These are all French words and expressions that we have adopted for cooking and serving foods. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
20?
You don't consult this with Skinny here at all, huh?
Go ahead. That's the answer.
What about it, Slats? Are you in a...
Let her go ahead and do what she wants.
All right, you're going to bet $20. What is the French word that means a small cup of coffee taken at the close of a meal?
Demitasse.
Right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $40.
All right, how much of the 40 are you going to bet in your second question?
All of it?
You ignore him completely, eh? What are the small cubes of toasted bread served with soup called?
Croutons.
That's right, croutons.
You now have $80.
Did you carry a menu on this trip you took to Phoenix, Seattle?
No.
Here's your third question. You have $80. How much are you going to bet?
All of it?
Slices of bone meat or fish are called what?
Filet.
Filet is right.
You now have $160.
I always thought filet was in Pennsylvania. Now, here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All of it, huh? Whites of eggs whipped to a standing froth with sugar is called what?
Meringue.
Meringue is right.
And you wind up with $320.
Well, thanks and good luck to the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Fenneman, everybody's talking big, bright, and beautiful these days. Let's listen in.
It's big, the 54 Plymouth, it's bright. The 54 Plymouth, big, bright, beautiful too. The 54 Plymouth is the car for you.
Yes, the new 54 Plymouth, big, bright, and beautiful, is the car for you. The car that's got everybody talking about its new beauty.
I've never seen such luxurious fabrics and appointments before in any low-price car. So many smart new ideas in detail and color combinations. Plymouth's high-style interiors certainly live up to their name.
Power steering's available this year. Plymouth's full-time power steering does 80% of the work for you, getting in and out of tight parking places, and always lets you keep the feel of the road for good, steady handling.
And there are 3 great drives available, including Plymouth High Drive that gets you where you're going without shifting.
See this great new beauty for yourself. Visit a DeSoto Plymouth dealer for all the exciting details on the beautiful new 54 Plymouth.
Big, bright, beautiful too. The 54 Plymouth is the car for you.
All right, George, who's next?
Well, we invited some plumbers to the show tonight, Groucho. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Michael Moran. His partner is Miss Regula Thorsten. So, folks, would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word. Plumbers always get applause here. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mr. Michael Moran. That's you?
Yes, sir. That's...
You have a sister named Lemon?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
Oh, I used to know a Lemon Moran. She lived in the Automat in New York. Where are you from, Mike?
I was born in Huntington, Oregon, but raised in Los Angeles.
Raised in Los Angeles. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
31.
Regula Thorsten, that's you?
That's right.
That's an interesting name, Regula. Where'd you get it?
I was named after the city saint in Zurich, Switzerland.
You said name. That's the secret word. So you get 50 smackers.
Well,
And
thank
the
you,
plunger
Groucho.
over here gets $50.
Thank you, Groucho.
Thank you, Groucho.
Now, what were you saying about you were named after a plumber named Lemma Moran at the Automat in New York?
Groucho, you got it all wrong. I was
Oh.
named after a city saint.
A city saint?
Yeah, that's right, in Zurich, Switzerland.
You come from Switzerland?
I surely do. I did, at least.
Uh-huh. How long ago?
Oh, well, now, Groucho, you wouldn't ask me embarrassing questions.
Yes, I would. That's the way I make a living, huh? Now, how did you get the name? You were named after a city saint?
That's right.
How long ago was this?
Oh, many years ago.
How long ago?
In this century.
In this century. At the turn of the century?
A little later.
Oh. Why did you come to this country regular?
Oh.
Just to outwit me?
No.
You succeeded in so far.
No. You see, I trained as a nurse in the American hospital in Paris. And my superintendent of nurses thought that I would make a much better career in the States, and that's why I came.
Have you had any exciting experiences as a nurse in this country?
I certainly have.
What way, huh?
Well, one of them was taking care of you. You once were my patient.
I knew that past of mine would catch up with me someday. Well, what happened? Did I emerge alive?
You certainly did.
I did, huh?
Yes. You used to come to this doctor's office quite regularly, and after a few visits, one time, you impersonated your own brother. And you did it so convincingly that you had me completely sold. So I almost got fired. But that isn't all. 2 weeks
I
later...
hope
2 weeks later, you sent your brother into the doctor's office, and you had your brother impersonate you. And to make matters even more complicated, you know what the doctor's name was?
No.
Dr. Marx.
Really?
And that isn't
Rudolph
all.
Marx?
Rudolph Marx. And
yes,
that
yes.
isn't all.
He's a nice guy, Rudolph.
Isn't he, though?
I want to say, after you left that doctor's office, I impersonated Rudolph Marx. I didn't say it.
But that isn't
It was
all,
on
Groucho.
Wednesday. It was his day off, and they don't come in on Wednesday. You know, doctors don't work on Wednesday at all. Wednesday, Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want to die, you got to do it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. You know, speaking of hospitals, it reminds me of the story about Mark Connolly. He's a famous playwright. He wrote Green Pastures and many other plays. Anyway, he had gone to Cedars of Lebanon to visit a friend there who had had a tonsillectomy. And he got in the elevator there at Cedars, and the elevator operator says, "What floor?" And he said, "Men's tonsils, please." That's a true story, isn't it? Are you still at that same hospital regular?
No, I'm not. I've quit the nursing profession.
They always do that after they get me. Mike, who do you work for?
Sicking Plumbing.
Is it a big outfit?
One of the largest in town, Groucho. We have about 40 plumbers on tap.
40 plumbers on tap. Say, that's pretty good, isn't it? You know any roofing jokes?
No, sir, I don't.
Is that one of the little jokes you plumbers use in the trade?
Well, you might call it that.
And for this you charge $5.50 an hour?
Not for the jokes.
Have you ever had any unusual experience as a plumber, like fixing a leaky faucet in less than 8 hours?
Yes. I was fixing garbage disposal one time when I had to take the garbage disposal out of the sink to repair it. And in order
Is that why they call it the Sinking Brothers?
No. And in order to remount it, I had to lay on my back under the sink and put the spud through the hole in the sink, which is just actually like a big donut. So I'm laying there tightening the screws up, looking right up through the sink, and this housewife comes walking over me and turns the water on. Right in my face. And she says, "I didn't think it would run on you." And what do you think it's going to do, run up?
Well, at least you got a bath out of it, didn't you? You're lucky she didn't drop any garbage down there. Well, it's been very interesting talking to you two. I haven't learned anything, but it's been interesting. And the next time you come to my house, charge me $4 an hour, will you? Well, now you're gonna work in the quiz. Now let's see how you make out. We'll see how smart you really are. All you got to do is run your $20 in the more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big money later.
In the race for the $1,500, the first couple won $320, and the secret word is name.
Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected instruments in common use as your category. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Most of us have seen or heard of these instruments. These are not plumber's tools, you know.
No.
Now, let's see if you can identify them. You have $20. How much are you going to bet?
I think you should bet
Talk real loud now.
$19.98.
Okay.
No, we didn't hear a word you said.
all right.
1998.
1998. huh?
Sounds like Macy's basement.
Yes, it does. Have you ever thought of quitting plumbing and going into show business?
No, sir.
Everybody's in show business now. You can get yourself a panel show in no time. Huh? What is the instrument used by doctors to determine the heartbeat?
The stethoscope.
That's right. That's a stethoscope.
You have $39.98 now.
What does that remind you of? Gimbals?
Can't think of anything. I'm concentrating right now.
What is the? How much you betting?
All's but 2 cents, so it'd be $39.86, wouldn't it?
96.
96.
What is the surveying instrument called that is used to measure angles? It is mounted on a tripod. What is the surveying instrument called that is used to measure angles? It is mounted on a tripod.
Datum. It isn't correct.
No.
Datum is the only thing I can think of it. Datum.
One answer. Is that what you decide on?
Yes, sir.
You.
I know it too, but I can't think of it.
Transit.
Transit. That's
Oh,
right.
that's a shame.
Just used it the other day.
You now have 2 cents.
Wow.
We're rich.
How much of the 2 cents you going to bet?
Go for broke.
Go for broke.
Go for broke. What is the instrument used for marking exact time in music?
No, just a minute. I know it as well as...
Afford. Couple
I know.
squares.
It's metronome.
A metronome.
Well, they've
Well,
lost.
now you have nothing.
Now
All
we have
gone.
nothing. All gone.
Now I give you one more question. You get this right, and you split $25. A popular figure of early American history was Martha Washington. What was her husband's name?
George Washington.
Absolutely right, George Washington. Thanks, and carried in winners. Thanks, and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
And now, Groucho, our next contestant is N.C. Buyer, a waiter.
Mr. N.C. Buyer, a waiter, eh? What's the N.C. stand for?
It stands for new car, Groucho.
Your name is New Car Buyer? Well, you've certainly come to the right show. Where are you a waiter?
Oh, I can wait anywhere, Groucho. I thought I'd wait right here in this studio.
It's not too personal. What are you waiting for?
For November 5th, Groucho. All of us new car buyers are waiting for November 5th because that's the day the wonderful new DeSoto goes on display for the very first time.
Yes, I know.
They say that this outstanding new DeSoto is the most wonderful car ever built, with so many new engineering features that you'll have to drive it to believe it. And with an outstanding new beauty and style that will put it years ahead of all the others.
Yes, I know.
So that's what I'm waiting for, November 5th, the day this magnificent new DeSoto for 1954 makes its very first appearance.
You see, folks, you got to be careful. You never know when we're going to bring in a commercial to remind you that November 5th is the big day. Your first chance to see the stunning DeSoto for 1954. Okay, George, who's next?
Well, Groucho, we have a young married couple for you now, Mr. and Mrs. Edward Shefflin. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word, and you'll take home an extra $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mr. What are you calling him? Fenneman, what are you calling Mr. for? This man's a general. Are you a general?
No, Groucho. I'm a master sergeant in the Air Force.
Oh. How old are you, Sergeant?
33.
33, huh? Well, you're a fine-looking lad. Mrs. Shefflin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to call you Mrs. Shefflin. That's too dignified for me.
Well, can you call me Margaret?
Well, I could try. Margaret, I notice you're holding pretty tight to your husband there. Do you feel all right?
Oh, I'm feeling fine, thank you.
Oh.
But I sometimes hold on to him this way when we're walking around because my left leg is paralyzed. I had polio in 1942.
Oh, is that so?
Mhm.
I'm sorry to hear that. Would
it's
you like
all right.
to sit down?
Oh, no, I'd really rather stand.
You would?
Yeah. I sit down watching one thing and another all day. And
No. I'd rather sit down myself. I didn't know how you felt. Well, you're sure you won't be too tired, huh?
No, I'll be fine.
Does your polio seem to be getting better as time goes by?
Well, it's a gradual process,
Yeah.
but it's been getting better, and strangely enough, having a baby seems to help.
How old is your baby?
Well, we have 4 little girls, but the youngest one is 5 weeks.
You say these 4 children helped your health, eh?
Well, it seems to have anyway.
That's odd. I've been a father 3 times, and look at me, eh? Next time I think I'll try being a mother.
That would be fine.
Who takes care of the 4 kids, Margaret? Do you have help?
No, I take care of them in the house. Oh, I don't feel I have a real handicap, because I can play ping pong and swim and do lots of things.
Well, you certainly have a lot of courage, Margaret.
Well,
Next time I get a little ache or pain, I don't think I'll complain quite so much.
maybe the little ones are bad, too.
I had a headache the other day, and I sent for an ambulance. Let's find out some more about you two. For example, what was there about Margaret that prompted you to pop the question?
Well, I thought she was very nice looking, and she was a good conversationalist, and pleasant, courteous, and above all, she was very smart.
You mean by trapping you, she was smart?
Well, she can read a book in, say, less than an hour, and she can tell you everything that she's read.
Well, can she cook?
She can do anything.
You're pretty proud of her, aren't you, huh?
Oh, that I am.
And I certainly don't blame you, Sergeant. You think she'll win a lot of money for you here tonight?
Oh, it's just as good as money in the bank.
What makes you think she's going to walk away with the loot here tonight?
Well, she used to be a quiz kid for about 3 years.
A quiz kid? Jumping butterballs were wiped out. Is this true, Margaret? Are you really a former quiz kid?
Yeah, I was a quiz kid from...
For Kelly?
Joe Kelly. Mm-hmm.
Joe Kelly, yeah.
And he's still on.
Is that so?
I've gotten too old. See, when you're 16, they figure you're not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
So I was on from 42 to 44.
Well, Ed, doesn't it sometimes annoy you that your wife knows all the answers?
Well, Groucho, it sometimes scares me.
Well, don't worry about her knowing the answers, old boy. The time to get scared is when she starts asking the questions. Well, obviously, you're a happily married couple, and I'm sure everyone is anxious to see you slaughter me in the quiz. So let's see what you can do. You have to run your $20 no more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big money.
In the race for the $1,500, Mr. and Mrs. Fedorowicz are leading with $320.
You selected what's the number. This is a test of your powers of observation. Let's see if you can correctly identify the amount or number. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
20.
All of it? Sure.
All of it?
All of it.
All of it.
How many strings on a standard violin?
4.
4 is right.
You now have $40.
You have $40. Now, how much you going to bet on this one?
Shoot to works.
I wish we'd taken it.
On a standard telephone dial, how many holes are there?
10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 0.
Okay, you tell him.
10.
10 is correct.
Okay.
You now have $80.
She's the quiz kid, but I know she's slipping you the hard ones here. Huh? Here's your third question. How much of the 80 you going to bet?
82.
We'll bet the 80.
How many rows of keys are there on a standard typewriter?
4.
4 is right.
You now have $160.
Here's your last chance to be the other couples. You have $160. How much are you going to risk?
All of it.
We'll try it all.
All of it.
How many cigarettes are there in a standard pack?
20.
20 is right, huh?
And you wind up with $320.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you.
And that means that the first couple, Mr. and Mrs. Fedorovitz, and Sergeant Shefflin and his wife, both with $320, have tied for the chance at the big $1,500 question. Groucho, do you realize it will be here November 5th?
I didn't even know it had been away. What are you talking about?
Well, the day is Thursday, November 5th.
Certainly, and that's the day the magnificent 1954 DeSoto goes on display for the very first time.
That's right. Thursday, November 5th is D-Day. D for the stunning new DeSoto for 1954.
I knew it all the time.
Well, then why did you ask me what I was talking about?
Well, for some reason I thought you were thinking about a gorgeous blonde.
Well, why should I be thinking about a gorgeous blonde when I can remind the folks that November 5th is their first chance to see the dramatic new DeSoto for 1954?
Fenneman, I shall treat that question with the contempt it so richly deserves. Folks, go to your nearest DeSoto Plymouth dealers on November 5th and see the wonderful new DeSoto for 1954. And if you run across that blonde, tell her Groucho sent you.
Well, Groucho, here are the two couples tied for the chance at the big question. Mr. and Mrs. John Peter Fedorovitch, Mr. and Mrs. Edward Shefflin. Each couple will decide on a single answer and write it down on a little piece of paper we've given them. If both couples get it right, they'll split the money between them. We all set? 15 seconds.
Yes, okay. One of the colorful figures of the gay 90s was a former newsboy who on July 23rd, 1886, allegedly jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge and survived. For $1,500, what was his name? Nothing? You wouldn't even write anything?
I didn't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Fedorovitch, huh? The gentleman over here is right, it's Steve Brody.
Oh, sure.
And you win $1,500.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't all win, but that's the way it goes.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
How much did they win in the quiz, George?
Well, they all won $320 in the quiz, and
Well, you won $1,820. Congratulations. From the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast, you bet your life.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't forget Groucho's television show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. Remember that the dealers who sell the remarkable new Plymouth, engineered and built to be your best buy in the low-priced field, will have the magnificent new 1954 DeSoto on display November 5th. DeSoto, Plymouth. Two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see the distinguished new DeSoto.
Friends, tonight your DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast salute the National Safety Congress, which is celebrating its 41st anniversary. DeSoto is proud of the part it has played in making America highway safety conscious. Remember, the life you save may be your own. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is chair, C-H-A-I-R.
What is
Really, you're supposed to say.
really you're supposed to say?
You bet your life.
You bet your life.
It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The dealers who now have on display the all-new 1954 Plymouth, your best buy in the low-priced field, and who, on November 5th, will have on display the astonishing and beautiful new DeSoto for 1954. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
That old bore? Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000, George, for one of our couples. Not $1,000, George. That's silly. $1,000 George dollars for one of our couples. Who's first?
Oh, we have a housewife and a druggist for you, Groucho. Mr. Sid Chambers and Mrs. Edna Robb Webster. Would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. That is, if you have a house. A druggist and a housewife, huh?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sid Chambers, I presume you're the druggist. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you married?
Yes, sir. I have 2 children.
Where are you from?
I'm from Hollywood, sir.
Hollywood?
Yes, sir.
Only in Hollywood would a druggist have a butch haircut. Huh? Mrs. Edna Robb Webster, huh?
Yes, sir.
And is that a simple declarative? What do you mean by Edna Robb Webster, huh?
That's my name, Groucho.
Oh. You're a housewife?
Partly.
For which part, huh? Where are you from, Edna?
I was born in Marshalltown, Iowa, and grew up among the tall corn, but I didn't grow so tall.
Oh. Well, you'll find plenty of tall corn here tonight. How long have you been a housewife?
35 years.
35 years? Why, you're not that old, Edna.
Well, that's what my birth certificate says.
It does, huh? Does it talk? You say you've been married 35 years to
Yes.
Noah Webster?
No, to William Webster.
Oh. Well, what do you attribute the success of this marriage, the longevity of this affair? Anything in particular?
Well, I do think that many married people would be happier if they permitted each other more freedom in activities and interests and didn't try to dictate to one another and say, you have to do this and you have to do that. We don't do that in our house, either for our children or each other.
I think that's very wise. You notice what's happened to most of the dictators in the last few years. Are you still awake over here, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not. I don't know about you. Well, let's get back to your pharmacy. Where is it?
Well, it's the Friendly Owl Rexall store in Westwood Village, Groucho.
Oh. What is your job there?
Well, I'm the pharmacist and the manager, Groucho.
And what does a pharmacist do?
Well, the specific duty of a pharmacist is to carry out the doctor's instructions.
Well, where do you bury them? You know, as long as we're talking about druggists, why do you always put so much cotton in the pill bottles?
Well, we don't charge
By the time you drag that cotton out of the pill bottle, you can die.
The cotton...
Isn't even the kind of cotton you can use for cleaning out your ears. It's just a waste. You just have to throw it away.
Well, it's good cotton, Groucho, but you're not charged for that. The cotton is put in there to...
Why do they stick that in there around 4 in the morning when you're trying to find a pill?
Well, that's to protect the pill.
One night I swallowed the cotton.
That's to protect the pill.
Next day I had a fur-lined vest and I was naked. There's another complaint I have. I have 32 bottles at home, approximately, in my medicine chest. And they all say the same thing, take 3 times daily.
Groucho...
Or doctor's directions. As directed, it says. Why don't you put the name of the medicine on the bottle?
Well, that's coming about. If you had 32 bottles in your medicine cabinet, I'd start cleaning house.
Well, they're not all medicinal.
I'd say with you.
Some of them are fifths in there.
But actually, the doctors now are putting what is in the prescription and telling the pharmacist to write the name of the drug right on the label.
Yes, and how often to take it? The other night I thought I was taking 3 aspirins. It turned out to be 3 Benzedrines. I wound up jumping over my house.
That's the advantage, I think, of putting the name of the preparation right on the label.
That's right. And how often you should take it and when.
That's right.
Will you remember that?
I certainly do my best.
Give my love to your 3 children.
Thank you. It's 2.
Now let's play You Bet Your Life. Run your $20 no more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question later. You selected girls' names and song as your category. All of these girls' names have been popularized in music. I'll give you a hint from a song, and you identify the girl. Clear?
Yes.
Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
20? 20.
20?
$20.
Who is sweet as apple cider?
Ida.
Ida is absolutely right.
And you now have $40.
We don't pay the whole thing. Cantor pays $19 of that. Huh? Now you have $40. How much are you going to bet on your second question?
We'll bet it all, Groucho.
Okay. Through the black of night, I gotta go where you are. Who am I looking for?
Chloe.
Chloe is correct.
You now have $80.
How much?
All the way.
All of it, huh? Nature fashioned roses kiss with dew. It was the start of who?
Sweet Little Lonnie.
Sweet Lonnie is right.
You've now climbed to $160.
How much you gonna go for?
We'll go all the way, Groucho.
All the way, all right. Dum-Dum doesn't live here anymore.
Annie doesn't live here anymore.
Dum-Dum is what I call her, but her name is Annie. That's right.
And you wind up with $320.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. You're very smart. George, have you heard this old Scotch ballad? DeSoto's arriving, hooray, hooray. DeSoto's arriving a week from today. DeSoto's arriving, it's going to be great. So get out and see it, and don't you be late.
That's a fine song, Groucho, but it's not exactly accurate.
No?
No, you see, the stunning and remarkable new DeSoto for 1954 goes on display a week from tomorrow. Thursday, November 5th, to be exact.
I know that, Fenneman. But if you're so smart, let's see you rhyme hooray with a week from tomorrow. Let's see you rhyme anything for that matter. Rhyme orange for me, Fenneman.
Oh, I can't rhyme orange, Groucho.
Of course not. All you're good for is to remind people that Thursday, November 5th, is the day the stunning new DeSoto for 1954 goes on display. Give him that date again, George.
That's 1 week from tomorrow. Thursday, November 5th. The day the stunning new DeSoto for 1954 goes on display for the very first time. Be sure to see it at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Now, before we proceed, I want to read a little note here. In the November 1st issue of Parade, the Sunday newspaper supplement, there's a story about Fenneman, Mr. Fenneman. It's titled, Groucho Always Picks on Me, and I think you may find it amusing.
I hope you do.
I doubt it. All right, George. On with it. Who's next?
Groucho invited some bakers to the show tonight in our studio.
I invited some bakers?
No, we did.
Oh, you said Groucho invited some bakers.
No, I said Groucho. We invited some bakers to the show tonight.
Oh, I see. You still said Groucho invited some bakers to the show tonight.
Anyhow, these bakers that got to our show,
how'd they get here?
I have no idea. Anyhow,
you're probably loafing on the job coming down.
I'd like you to meet a baker that we have here. His name is Mr.
This isn't Home Run Baker. He used to play with the Athletics.
No, it isn't. This is Mr. High Catan. His partner is Mrs. Ruth Bro. And here they come, folks. Would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx right now?
Well, howdy. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Mr. High Catan, huh? Mr. Catan, I'll start with you. Where are you from?
New York City, sir, near Central Park.
Oh. Are you a squirrel?
No, sir. A baker.
A baker? You're a baker, so, well, you have to be from the East, don't you? Huh?
That's right.
You're a baker, so you have to be from the East, huh? I was kind of ashamed of that, so I mumbled it. Huh? Mrs. Ruth Bro?
Yes,
that's you?
That's I.
Where are you from, Ruth?
I'm from Monongah, West Virginia.
Where's that? And remember, I have no shame.
That's a small
town. I have
no
joke either. Huh?
That's a small town on the West Fork of the Monongahela. And we had some people in the service in our family. And I left the town in 1943 to join the Marine Corps.
Why did you join the Marine Corps?
Well, as I said, we had some people in our family in the service. We had a soldier, we had 2 sailors, we had a Seabee. And I figured it was time we got a fighting man, so I joined the Marines.
What did you do with the Marines?
I was a laundry officer.
Well, at least you were right up there on the line, weren't you? Now, Mr. Catton, let's hurry back to your bakery. I just love to smell hot bread. Have you had a bun on recently? Where do you work?
Delhaven Bakery in Beverly Hills.
Oh, Delhaven's. I've been there many times. Have you ever seen me in your bakery?
Yes, many times. We appreciate having you as a customer.
Oh, I'm not a customer. I just go there on rainy days. Your oven is a wonderful place to dry my shoes and socks. Occasionally I stick my head in there, too. How would you describe your bakery? What kind of a place is it?
Well, we have quite a diversified line. We make French pastries and Danish pastries, German coffee cakes, regular American type of pastries, donuts, everything.
I think you're putting too much rye in your rye bread, Bacon. How can you be all of these things to all people?
Well, you see, sir, we have a Frenchman making French pastry and a Dane making Danish pastry, somehow a Canadian making the German coffee cakes. In fact, we try to make everything that people will buy, like, and talk about.
Well, you said you were successful last week. Everybody at the hospital was talking about your cream pie. Well, I hate to change the subject, but now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question.
In the race for the $1,000, the druggist and his partner won $320, and the secret word is chair.
Here we go. Let's see how I can bid you $20. You selected old riddles as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Marine wants to shoot the works.
What kind of a coat is put on wet?
Paint. It's just coat of paint.
That's right. Coat of paint.
Well, you now have $40.
All right, how much of the 40 are you going to bet?
The whole thing.
What is black and white and red all over?
A newspaper.
A lexicographer, that's right.
You now have $80.
Here's your third question. How much of the 80?
Whole thing.
Let it ride.
Okay. When is a door not a door?
When it's a jar.
When it's a jar is right.
You now have $160.
Pretty sharp baker, isn't it? Your last chance to beat the other couples. You're going to bet the 160?
Shoot the works.
To what man do other men always take off their hats?
A woman. Woman.
To what man do other men always take off their hats? Talk it over. Your partners.
No man?
No, I'm sorry. It's a barber. Pretty easy. It's a real old riddle.
Well, Groucho, they
Well, we can't let you leave here broke.
lost all their money.
We're going to give you one question. You get this right, and you win $25. Who was president during Grant's administration?
President Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant.
That's absolutely right, and I'm sorry you didn't win more money.
Thank you.
I understand the new DeSoto is coming out soon.
November 5th.
My spies tell me that it's going to be out of this world.
November 5th.
They say this new DeSoto is going to be the greatest car ever built.
November 5th.
I don't like to mention it, but your needle seems to be stuck.
November 5th.
What's going to be so new and marvelous about this stunning new DeSoto?
November 5th.
You know he gets paid for this, and him a college graduate. I know,
November 5th. Folks, watch for the greatest new car ever built. The magnificent new DeSoto coming...
I believe that date you had in mind was November 5th.
Well, that's the date, Groucho. November 5th on our television show. The first TV view of the marvelous new DeSoto. Before we went on the air, Groucho, we selected a married couple. And now I'd like you to meet them. Mr. and Mrs. Everett Calicote, would you please come in and meet Groucho
That
Marx?
girl in calico. Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. and Mrs. Everett Calicote. What is your hometown, Ev? That's you, I presume.
That's me. I was born at Ironton, Ohio, on the river.
In the river?
On the river.
Is this near the Monongahela River?
No, that's the Ohio River.
Oh, does that empty into the Mississippi?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
It does.
After so long a time.
What's that?
After so long a time.
Well, sure, I didn't mean immediately. I mean, it didn't go right from the Sinton Hotel in Cincinnati to the Mississippi River. Took a cab. Mrs. Calicote, where are you from?
I was born in a log cabin in Brown County, Indiana.
You're not Abe Lincoln, are you?
I might be relation. I wish I was.
Well, I hope you are. By the way, Mrs. I can't keep calling you Mrs. Calicote. What does Everett call you?
Oh, you wouldn't want to call me that. My name's Helen Lucille, but I don't like Helen, so everyone calls me Lucille.
Well, why don't you like Helen? What has she done to you? How did you meet this buxom lad over here, Everett?
Well, our church was holding an open-air service, and Everett came wandering by. He asked if he could play our
wandering
guitar.
By? Was he on his way to church, or was he just casing the joint?
He was casing the joint for a girl.
Everett? You rascal, you. Is this where you usually prowled around on Sunday mornings?
Oh, this was a Saturday night.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Well, let's go on with this.
Well, he asked to play the guitar, and we let him.
He was a strolling troubadour, in other words, huh?
Not exactly.
Well, what attracted you to Everett besides his guitar playing?
Well, he...
Was there anything about him that you didn't like?
Yes.
Besides his guitar playing? Maybe that's simpler, that.
For one thing, the main thing that I didn't like, he didn't like children. And I think everyone should like children.
Well, Everett, have you revised your opinion in recent years?
Yes, I have.
You like them now?
Oh, I love children. And
do you have any?
We have 8.
8 children, eh? Never underestimate the power of a woman. Or a guitar. You know, that reminds me about liking children. W.C. Fields was one of the great comedians. Somebody once asked him, he said, Bill, do you like children? He says, yes, fried. You know, he pretended all his life that he disliked children. And when he died, he left all his money to an orphan asylum. It was a queer quake in this man, but he was a wonderful comedian and a great guy. And there's nobody around like him. Now that we're through with this sad soliloquy, Lucille, are there any problems connected with raising 8 children?
Yes.
In addition to Everett?
There are plenty of problems with 8 children.
I don't see why. After all, I've raised 3 myself. The only thing that keeps me from being perfectly normal is that I've lost my mind. Well, what are some of your problems, Lucille?
Well, an example, when we came to California, no one would rent us a place to live. With 8 children, they just laughed at us. So we moved into a 2-room apartment. And the health department heard about it. So they came around and looked at our place, and they told us we were overcrowded. Well, we knew it. And then they told us we had to move.
Well, Everett, how did you solve this dilemma?
Well, there was a very well-to-do industrialist from Burbank came over and bought us a 4-bedroom home and put us there and wouldn't take any money. Of course, we're going to pay for it. We want to pay for the home, but he did that.
Magnificent gesture on his part.
We appreciated it, too.
I imagine there's a continuous picnic at your house, isn't there, Everett? What are some of the forms of entertainment a large family like yours enjoys?
Well, we
I mean, you're not playing the guitar.
Oh, yes. Well, we all climb trees together. That doesn't cost
the 10 of you go up a tree
yes,
together?
we just find a big tree that we can climb. It doesn't cost any money to climb trees.
Sometimes does to get down again, though.
Well, we go picnicking and do a lot of things as a family. It doesn't require any money. And we sing together.
Are any of your family out front?
Yes, two. I have 2 daughters, is all. We brought them along.
How many girls do you have?
We have 4 boys and 4 girls.
Oh, it worked out fine.
Yes, it was.
Now, could you sing something for us?
Well...
What about the kids? Couldn't you have them come up and help you sing?
Well, we could try.
You all sing together like the Trapp family? Where are the children? Yeah, just sing a short chorus or something. Now sing us a real kid too, aren't they, eh?
Like their dad.
What are you going to sing?
I'll sing an old spiritual, just a chorus of it.
All right, that'll be fine. Huh?
I'm going down to the River Jordan. You ready to go, guys?
I'm going to try it.
I'm going down the River Jordan, Will. I'm going down the River Jordan some of these days, hallelujah. I'm going down the River Jordan. I'm going down the River Jordan some of these days.
Let me in this.
I'm going down the River Jordan. I'm going down the River Jordan some of these days, hallelujah. I'm going down the River Jordan. I'm going down the River Jordan some of these days.
Well, we've had the Mississippi, the Monongahela, and now the River Jordan. We're on the Well, I'm sure you folks are more interested in winning a lot of money tonight than you are in hearing me gab, so let's get to work. Say, you sing mighty good together. Now, all you have to do is run your $20 no more than our other couples. You'll get a crack at all that money later on.
In the race for the $1,000, the druggist and his partner are still leading with $320.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected famous children of fiction as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? Talk right up loud.
$19.99, okay?
Okay, in Uncle Tom's Cabin, what was the name of the little girl who just growed?
Little Eva?
No, Topsy.
Topsy.
Topsy is right. Huh? All right, now how much of your Topsy... No, how much of your $39.99 you going to bet? All of it. What was the name of the kids who found a witch's house made of candy?
Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel is right.
Now I have $79.98.
They changed it later. They made it Frankie and Johnny instead of Hansel. Hansel and Gretel were sweethearts. Here's your third question. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All right. Now, one answer between you. Decide before you talk. What little Dutch boy was involved with the silver skates?
Hans Brinker.
Hans Brinker is right.
You now have $159.96.
Now, look, you decide between you now before you answer now. Now, how much you going to bet? This is the last question.
All of it. All of it? Or are you frightened?
You've got a lot of faith. You go ahead. She says all of it.
In what book were Meg, Beth, and Amy the central characters?
Little Women.
Little Women is right.
And you wind up with $319.92. And that means the druggist and his partner with $320 in just 1 minute get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. Thursday, November 5th, is going to be your very first opportunity to see the stunning, magnificent 1954 DeSoto. This 1954 DeSoto is such a remarkable car, with so many advanced engineering features and such great beauty of line that you won't want to miss it. That date again is Thursday, November 5th. That's D-Day. D for the outstanding new DeSoto for 1954. Mark that date down now. Thursday, November 5th. Your first chance to see the dramatic new DeSoto for 1954. Now, Groucho, here's our winning couple, the druggist and his partner, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Early in the 17th century, the Lord Protector of the British Commonwealth made a statement that since has been widely quoted. Trust in God and keep your powder dry. For $1,000, what was this great soldier, statesman, and civil administrator? Who was he? Okay, what is the answer you two have decided upon? Take a stab if you don't know.
No, we don't know.
Well, make a guess.
Oliver Cromwell.
Oliver Cromwell is right. Oh, I never thought I'd have to plead with somebody to take $1,000 away from me. Well, you win $1,000 plus how much in the quiz, George?
Well,
$320? That's $1,320 you won. What are you going to do with all that money?
Well, there's so many places for it, but I think I will send some to my niece who is a missionary in Korea.
Oh, well, that's a wonderful way to spend the money. But I want to ask you one question. Why were you so reluctant to say Oliver Cromwell?
Because I couldn't associate Oliver Cromwell with powder, gunpowder.
But you knew that there was any question, any answer was better than nothing.
Yes, I did. That's why I said it.
Well, you didn't. I had to force it out of you.
Well, I mean, finally.
If you had any manhood, you'd give me $500 for that. What are you going to do with your dough?
We'd like to maybe put another room on our house. It's getting a little small as our family's getting a little larger. So.
Oh, I see. Well, I have no answer for that. However, congratulations from the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Thank you.
You bet your life.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. And don't forget Groucho's television show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. Remember that the dealers who sell the remarkable new Plymouth, engineered and built to be your best buy in the low-priced field, will have the magnificent new 1954 DeSoto on display November 5th. DeSoto, Plymouth. Two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see the distinguished new DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. When driving, signal your intentions and slow down gradually. Remember, quick stops invite rear-end collisions. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world. Gentlemen, the secret word tonight is tree, T-R-E-E.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The dealers who now have on display the outstanding 1954 DeSoto transmission and the all-new 1954 Plymouth, your best buy in the low-priced field. More about the remarkable 1954 DeSoto later in the show. Listen for it. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
He's a real cool cat. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples.
Groucho, we have a young married couple for you. Mr. and Mrs. Leslie Townley. Would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll win $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. and Mrs. Leslie Townley, eh? Well, you're a fine-looking couple.
Thank you.
What's your hometown, Mr. Townley?
Santa Barbara, California.
Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
And Mrs. Townley, where are you from?
Well, I was born in a little town 93 miles west of Minneapolis called Olivia, Minnesota.
Oh, is that near Olivia de Havilland?
No.
There is a town there. Well, Minnesota, let's see. That's near what, Duluth?
Around in there, yes, Gretchen.
I used to shovel snow up there. It's the only way we could get the people in the theater. No, really, the snow was that high and nobody could get to the box office. In addition to that, we had a very bad show. How old are you, Mrs. Townley?
I'm 19.
I'll call you Olivia. Is that your name?
No, my name is Patricia.
Oh.
You may call me Pat.
I thought you said you came from Patricia, Minnesota.
No, Olivia.
Oh, Olivia. Your name is Patricia.
Yes, Mr. Marx.
Oh. Mr. Townley, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22. Well, fine-looking boy.
Thank you.
I can't call you Mr. Townley. That's too formal. What is your first name again?
It's Burl, but I don't like Burl, so people call me Les.
You don't like Burl?
No, not particularly.
You don't like Uncle Milty, you mean? Well, you're married now, huh?
Yes.
What do you think of matrimony now that you've been snared?
Well, I think it's fine, Mr. Marx. It gives one a sense of responsibility and
sure
prestige.
Does, yeah.
But all the things that go along with married life.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. How long you been married?
6 weeks.
Well, that certainly explains your attitude about marriage. You're certainly qualified to be an authority on the subject. Where did you go on your honeymoon, Pat?
To Carmel, up by Monterey, up the coast.
You go together?
Yes, we did.
That's beautiful up there, and they have some of the finest golf courses in the world. Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you play any golf while you were up there?
No, Mr. Marx.
You must have had a pretty dreary time, didn't you? Let's find out something about your romance. How did you meet this fellow, Pat?
Well, I had come to work out at North American on the 15th of April.
North American what?
Aviation Incorporated,
Oh.
out in
Oh,
Downey.
you're a flyer?
No, that's a North American Aviation Incorporated, where they build these ships and different planes.
And did you know he was working there?
Well, not at the time. I didn't even know he existed, but I went out there and met him 2 days after I had been there, and he met
Fast
me.
worker, isn't he? Yeah?
He met me formally and kept asking me to go get a Coke, and I had heard that he was married and had 4 children. So I ignored him, and
Well, who told you that he was married and had 4 children?
well, the girl that sits next to me, her girlfriend used to work with him, and I guess she got it all wrong.
Well, do most of the young fellas at North American have a wife and 4 children?
Well, not all of them. Most of them are single, but there are a lot of married men out there.
With 4 children?
Well, I don't know about 4, but they have children.
Don't you like children?
Oh, I love them. I'd like to have 4 myself.
Well, get back to North America. Well, Les, I'm curious. How soon after you first saw Pat did you get engaged?
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that rather precipitous?
Well, no, when the right girl comes along, it hits you like a ton of bricks. In my estimation.
I know what you mean. A girl hit me like that just the other night. Only she used real bricks. I made a barbecue out of them. Put the girl in them, huh? Real hot mama, this kid. Well, you're a real nice young couple, and I hope you're going to be very happy together, and I'm sure you will be.
Thank you.
And I'd like to see you win a lot of money tonight, so let's get started. All you have to do is run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big money. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected songs mentioning some part of the anatomy as your category. Now, here's your first question. How much of the $20 will you bet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All of it.
All of it. One answer between you now. Give me the title of this song. Play, Mr. Fielding.
Smoke gets in your eyes.
Smoke gets in your eyes.
Yes, it does. I'm smoking constantly.
Well, you're off to a good start. You have $40.
Here's your second question. Now, how much of this sum are you going to bet this time?
All of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All of it.
Let's see if you can identify this one. Play, Jerry. Take a guess.
I think they stood still.
What's the
And
rest
my
of it?
heart stood still.
My heart stood still.
Yeah. You now have $80.
Here's your third question. You have $80. Now, how much are you going to bet?
Go all of it.
All of it.
All right. All right, play it, Jerry.
Time on my hands.
Time on my hands.
You now have $160.
How much will you bet?
All of it.
Let's go all of it.
All of it? Yeah. All right. What is the title of this song?
Dainty fingertips.
All right. What have you decided upon?
Dainty fingertips.
Feet in the sun.
No, you've got some of the lyric, but you haven't got the title. I'm sorry. It's Lazy Bones by Johnny Mercer and Hoagie Carmichael.
Well, that's a shame. You've lost all your money.
Well, we can't let you leave here broke. I'll give you one more question. You get this right, and you'll split $25. How many barrels in a double-barrel shotgun?
2.
2 is right. I'm sorry you didn't win more money.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you about the 1954 DeSoto Automatic with new Power Flight fully automatic transmission. Why is it called the Automatic? Because the 1954 DeSoto is a car planned and built to carry out your sudden orders instantly, silently, and safely at any speed. Driving the 1954 DeSoto Automatic with Power Flight transmission is driving at its finest. No clutch, no shifting gears. Just the turn of a key and you're ready to drive. And of course, in the 1954 DeSoto Automatic, you also enjoy the benefits of DeSoto full-time power steering. The power steering that works for you all the time. DeSoto Power Brakes to do over half the work of braking for you. And scores of other DeSoto automatic features. And then from a beauty point of view, this 1954 DeSoto Automatic is a real dream car with an unusual and beautiful new treatment of the grille, bumpers, and headlights, and a gleaming massiveness that says, here's beauty that's built to last. There's a really fine, clean-cut, modern look to the whole car that comes from its long, really low, wide lines and the clean flow of its styling. This year, drive and own a car designed specifically to carry out your orders instantly, silently, and safely at all speeds. This is the car. The stunning 1954 DeSoto. First car ever to deserve the name Automatic. Tomorrow, first thing, go to your nearest DeSoto Plymouth dealer. See and drive the 1954 DeSoto Automatic. And remember, DeSoto puts you ahead automatically. We have a housewife, Groucho, Mrs. Joan Twitchell, and her partner is a man who runs a restaurant, Mr. John Anthony. So, folks, would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Joan Twitchell. You're married, I take it, huh?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that, then. How long have you been married?
9 years.
9 years. I'm even sorrier to hear that. Joan, let's see. Where'd you say you're from? Minnesota?
No, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Oh, well, that's right near Minnesota, isn't it? That's pretty cold country up there, isn't it?
And very hot.
Did you ever see me up there at the Orpheum Theater?
No, I don't believe so. I was pretty young then.
Well, I was pretty young then, too, you know. This is about 100 years ago. I used to go tobogganing up there between matinee and evening. What sort of work does your husband do?
He's main floor manager for the largest department store in the world, under one roof. That's the J.C. Penney Company.
Oh. Where'd you meet him?
Well, back in the days when Tarzan was an idol of the children, we used to play in the back on castor bean trees.
On what?
Castor bean trees.
Mr. Anthony, you haven't said anything. You've won yourself $50. And you've been jabbering here and you won $50. You ought to get 75 and you ought to get 20. You salted that away. Well, now you're Mr. John Anthony, eh? Are you with John J. Anthony, the fellow who solves people's problems?
No, I'm not. My son is John J. Anthony.
Oh, how old is he?
He doesn't solve any problem. He's 2 years old.
Did you name him after Mr. Anthony of the court fame?
No, we didn't. No.
You didn't, huh?
That's
your name,
after
too.
me and his uncle.
His uncle, huh? What line of work are you in, Mr. Anthony?
I own Barney's Beanery.
What was that?
I own Barney's Beanery.
You own Barney's Beanery and your name is Anthony?
Yes.
Where is this beanery?
It's out at 8447 Santa Monica, block and a half east of La Cienega.
Oh. Have you ever eaten in there?
Seldom.
Why did you pick on Barney's Beanery for a name?
Well, Barney's Beanery, it's an alliteration and euphonious.
I'll be glad to. What's your number, huh? That's pretty fancy lingo, isn't it? He probably talks that way to keep the customer's mind off the food. Has this place always been there, this beanery?
We've been there since 27. Before that, I was in Berkeley, where I catered to the boys at the University of California.
Didn't you want any women in this place?
Well, at that time, I was a little naive and a bit younger, and I thought it wouldn't pay. I thought they'd just come in and get a little salad or a small sandwich and clutter up the place for most of the day. So we just kept it for the men.
Your impression was that women don't eat?
It was at that time.
Have you taken one out since then and learned the real truth?
I certainly did. I learned the real truth since then.
Well, I'm
Not
glad
for
to
one
see
customer.
glad to see there's one man in Hollywood who's using the old bean, Barney. Now let's cut out the chatter and see how much you can make in the quiz, because it's time to play You Bet Your Life. You run your $20 no more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big money later.
In the race for the $1,000, the newlyweds lost all their money. The secret word is tree.
Now, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected insignia and rank of the Army and Navy as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
How much is it, 20?
You have $20. How much are you going to bet? And talk it over and decide on one sum between you.
$19.95.
$19.95. All right. What is the rank of an Army officer wearing a silver eagle?
Colonel. Colonel.
Colonel is right. Talk right up.
You now have $39.95.
Now, how much of this sum are you going to bet on your second question?
$39.90.
All right. What is the... There's a fly in the microphone.
Oh.
I don't want him to hear this answer, that's all. What is the rank of a naval officer wearing 1 star? Talking over.
He's a line officer.
If you don't know, guess.
Admiral.
No, I'm sorry. It's a Commodore.
Well, now have 5 cents.
All right, how much of the 5 cents you going to bet?
4 cents.
4 cents. What is the rank of a silver?
Commander.
Commander is right.
You now have 9 cents.
How did you figure that so fast, man?
Oh, it was easy.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 9 cents are you going to bet?
8 cents.
What is the rank of an army officer wearing 2 stars?
Adjutant General.
No, it's a Major General. For whom is a Murphy bed named? Murphy is right,
Murphy.
huh? Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Okay, George, who's next?
Well, Groucho, we invited some building maintenance men to the program tonight, and our audience selected Mr. Harvey Lugach to be on the show, and his partner is Countess Katja von Beerholm. So, folks, would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Let's see, a building maintenance man and a countess, eh? Which one is the countess?
That's me.
Oh, well, it's an honor to have you here, Countess. May I kiss your hand?
If you like to.
How do you know I won't bite?
I don't think you will bite me.
You don't know me, Countess. Well, let's find out something about you, Countess. You seem like a charming lady. To begin with, what is your full name? How much too informal to keep calling you Countess?
My full name is Katja Else Anna Maria Cecilia Johanna Henrietta de Blanche Spangsbull van Beierholm.
Well, let me know when you reach Kansas City. I want to see what Truman's up to. Where'd you get all those monikers, Countess? Off a string of Pullman cars?
No, off a string of grandmothers and great-grandmothers.
I see. Well, Countess, would it be lèse majesty if I asked your age?
No,
That's
not
French
at
for
all.
I'm a nosy rat.
I'm 40.
40?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a fine-looking gal. Where are you from, Countess?
I was born on an old estate in the countryside in Denmark, not far away from where Hans Christian Andersen was born.
Oh. Could you tell us something about your childhood as a countess?
Oh, yes, I had a wonderful old historical castle, and I spent time riding my horses and playing in the garden.
Well, I'm convinced you're the real McCoy, Countess. Not only the real McCoy, but you're also Anna Maria Gretchen Knockwurst and Sauerkraut. And I'm still going to get off at Kansas City and see what Truman's up to. Mr. Harvey Doglatch, is that right?
No. Glugach.
Oh, Glugach, huh? Sorry, I've been ignoring you. No, just what is it you do? That is in the daytime.
Well, I'm manager at the Los Angeles Window Cleaning and Maintenance Company.
Oh, what kind of a company is that exactly?
Well, we do janitorial service and window cleaning for office buildings, banks, various
For what?
establishments. Banks.
You're welcome. What are some of the problems connected with cleaning a big office building?
Well, of course, the most important problem, the biggest problem we have is personnel. the secretaries in these particular jobs, they're generally the messiest of all. They'll put lipstick on the desks and makeup on the walls.
I thought they put lipstick on the boss.
No.
You mean that the women are sloppy?
Yes, and they're generally the ones who complain the most, too.
Do you think men are neater than the women?
Oh, yes, much.
You do, huh? Do you agree with that, Countess?
Oh, yes, I think so. I think he's right.
You're not making a play for him, are you?
He's married.
How do you know he's married? Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Well, how did you know he was married?
Oh, I just guessed that a man that looks so well as he does has such a nice position, he must be married. Men like that doesn't go around loose.
What about me? I'm loose. Countess, I don't mean to get personal, but would you be interested in matrimony?
Oh, I would like to marry. Absolutely.
Oh, brother, I may not have to come back to work next week. What sort of fellow would you be interested in? A man of experience? Dashing?
Yes.
Debonair?
Yes.
Suave?
Yes.
Crooked? I mean clever?
Yes, very much.
Yes, eh? Next week when people see me, they'll start bowing and scraping. You know? One more thing. I'm never going to mention DeSoto again. Countess, one more thing. Of course, this isn't important where true love is concerned, but do you have any dough?
I have no money. I work for a living.
Folks, get down to your DeSoto deal tomorrow. Tell him Groucho sent you. Rush down, for heaven's sakes. Be there before he opens up. Well, Countess, this is all in fun. I'd like to go on talking to you, too, but I'm sure you'd rather win some money. And right now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. You wouldn't take me seriously anyhow, would you, Countess?
I don't know.
I'm a pretty good catch at that if you can catch me. All right. Now, all you have to do for a chance at the big money is to run your $20 in the more than our other couples.
In the race for the $1,000, the second couple leads with 1 cent. And the secret word is tree.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected foreign monetary units as your category. This ought to be right up your alley, Countess. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All of it. What is the monetary unit of Mexico?
Pesos.
Pesos.
Peso is right.
You now have $40.
You are now at $40, according to Fenneman. How much you going to bet?
All.
You going to bet all of it?
Yes.
What is the monetary unit of Italy?
Lira.
Lira is right.
You now have $80.
Is that King Lear?
No, King Lear, that was in Shakespeare.
Oh, yes. Here's your third question. You have $80. How much you going to bet?
All of it.
What is the monetary unit of Canada?
Canadian dollars.
The dollar is right.
You now have $160.
Now, how much of the 160 you going to bet?
Want to bet it all? All.
What is the last chance to beat your other couple? How much will you bet?
We will bet all.
$160?
Yes.
Will you come to the Casbah, Countess?
Oh, I would love
to. And we will hang over the Casbah, shall we?
Oh, yes.
What is the monetary unit of Russia?
Rubles.
Ruble is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Connors, you got plenty on the ball, huh?
And besides, you have $320 now. And that means that the Countess and her partner with $320 in just one moment get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Arlene Francis, here to tell you about the most wonderful new car I've ever seen, the 1954 DeSoto Automatic. The DeSoto Automatic is the one car planned and built to do exactly what you want it to do. Do it instantly, do it quietly, and do it safely at all speeds. That's a marvelous thing to know. And what a beautiful car. The gleaming new grille and chrome trim give the 1954 DeSoto a longer, lower look. The swept-back fenders form a sleek, unbroken line right down to the smart new taillights. There are completely new interiors, too. The new instrument panel is in perfect harmony with the rest of the exquisite appointments. A real jewel-like instrument panel, giving you a real feeling of luxury. Take it from me, this 1954 DeSoto Automatic is a really thrilling car. A car you'll want to see right away at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Drop in to drive the 1954 DeSoto Automatic and enjoy a DeSoto ride, the ride that puts you ahead automatically.
The 1954 DeSoto Automatic is available in two full series. The mighty DeSoto Fire Dome V8, now 170 horsepower, and the brilliantly responsive DeSoto PowerMaster 6. Here's the Countess and her partner, Groucho, the winning couple, all set for the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question.
Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer. You think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. A character in Sheridan's play, The Rivals, confused words that are similar in sound but unlike in meaning. She said things like an allegory lives on the banks of the Nile. For $1,000, what was the name of this woman who murdered the King's English? Talk it over. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
We think it is Pygmalion.
No, that is not the right answer. It's Mrs. Malaprop. Very famous character. As a matter of fact, it's become part of the language. A malaprop is any misappropriation of words. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, they lost the big money, but how much they win the quiz, George?
They went all the way in the quiz with $320.
Well, congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight. Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember that the dealers who sell the outstanding 1954 DeSoto Automatic with fully automatic power flight transmission also have on display the remarkable new Plymouth, engineered and built to be your best buy in the low-price field. DeSoto, Plymouth, two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see the DeSoto Automatic.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. When driving, keep your wits and windshield clear. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world.